What exactly is provider fraud? This is from the doctors, from the pharmacists. Upcoding or false coding. As you know, all procedures have a code to it, and some codes pay different, obvious. Some of them are really similar to each other, and they will change those to the more expensive one. I don't think we've seen many that change to the lower one. I'm sure that happens by accident, but not very often. Unbundling services. Again, those codes. You have somebody with a cut on their hand that needs stitches. That might be one procedure, really broken down into 3 or 4 things. Well, if you break each one down, cleaning the wound, giving it a shot of painkiller, stitching it, and bandaging it, 4 different things. Yeah, break it down into those 4 different parts, it might cost twice as much. And they'll charge us. Well, that's a violation. They do it once or twice, those things happen, and we know that. But if it's a standard procedure, there could be a problem. Medically unnecessary services, we don't see a ton of those, but surgeries that are unnecessary, sooner or later, somebody's going to get caught doing that. It happens. Very tough to prove. Even if you have one doctor testifying against another, really tough because they each have theories of the way it should be, and really a tough one. Kickbacks from other providers, I've never seen those, but potentially have kickbacks from drug reps or companies that you send, we'll give you some money if you write prescriptions for our pills. Probably does happen. I don't think that's excess probably here. Does it occur? If it happens elsewhere, it's going to happen here. You guys know that. We're small, but things still happen here. Now, a couple things that I was supposed to remember on this was why don't we see a lot of it? We have doctors on our staff that work for state fund, that are under contract with us. That's who we send the people to. Now, they can go to other providers, but not all providers will accept payment from state fund. So if it's ours that we're paying for, we want you to go to our doctor. And then there's laws, I forget what year you said, 2003 utilization law, 2011, that put certain charges that can be charged. It can't be excessive charges for medically necessary procedures. Like chiropractor, we have a very well-respected chiropractor, and I personally respect the guy out of Helena. And I asked him one time, why do you work for us? He still has his business, but he comes in once or twice a week, and he's brought cases to us. And we've talked to him about different things, and he said that he's done well in the business. He's still in business, but now I want to bring all the respect back that I can, because sometimes it happens that they're not as well respected, and chiropractors, unfortunately, are one, and there are some very good ones out there. And this guy that we use is very good, and respect him real well. Fraud cases in recent past, we have a Butte sandwich artist. She said that she was walking out of the cooler and blew out her knee. Video, nothing showed that anything was wrong, and she had serious knee issue. Well, lo and behold, she lived with her grandma. Grandma said it happened at home. This is when it happened. Her and her friends talked about how are we going to get it paid for. She didn't have any insurance. Well, I feel sorry for her. It's not our duty to pay for something. She has opportunities to buy insurance. It's expensive, yes, but don't. It was going to cost Subway. But we did an investigation. Grandma testified against her. Kind of odd. We wondered how that would work. Well, there was some other issues with her, maybe some drug issues involved. Grandma said, enough is enough. She's got to take responsibility. She's taking responsibility. Missoula Roofing Company. We had a roofing company here that had people up on the roof and they were just listed as cleanup. We got looking back at them, and many companies use independent contractors for roofing. They just come in, they say, come at this time, we've got a roof to do, and then go do your own stuff when you're off. We look back in history, and these same people that were listed as cleanup had claims with us. One guy, nail gun had fallen off the roof and hit him in the head. Ouch. But besides the ouch factor was cleanup. Nobody's supposed to be above you working. A couple others had been lifting bundles of shingles. Not cleanup. That's carrying them up on the roof. That made the newspapers here a couple months ago, and the individual was convicted, paid us the difference in premium that he would have had to pay. And there's been some other things happen to him personally, his business recently. Central Montana widower. His wife worked, I believe, for the state, crossing railroad tracks, train hit him, killed her. He got survivor benefits from her job, and part of that is can't get remarried while you're receiving the benefits. He got remarried and didn't tell us for a couple years. Now, when we came back, we had won. I had a check for $29,000. Everybody was mad at me. That was in my first about 8 months working there, and I thought I was pretty happy. Got a conviction. Everybody was mad because this guy was a nice guy. However, by the letter of the law and what he was costing everybody in premiums that go up, that's what had to happen. And he knew he did wrong. When interviewed, he knew it was wrong, and he stood up for it, sold a couple things, and paid us back the $29,000. Then we had a veterans home baker that said that she was kneading pizza dough and hurt elbow or shoulder or something like that. Started the interview with her. Shane went up taking pictures and supposedly lifting 40-pound boxes of pizza dough off the top of the shelf, when in fact standard procedure is they are 20-pound boxes put on the bottom of the shelf. They're not on top. Lighter things are on top. Paper products are on top. And then there were some other things that just didn't fit. And then one of the witnesses, a coworker, she'd tripped on her dog in the dark the night before. And the coworker knew. When Shane interviewed her, we had that case and we got a conviction on that too.